What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I'll be like this video. This is your review for Queens, Season 1, Episode 5. So, we start this episode off when we have Lil Debbie Snacks is getting out of rehab and she's meeting with the record execs. Because, you know, at the end of the day, yes, they want people clean and sober, but do they really want them clean and sober if they're not going to be the same artists that they wanted them to be? We know how the business is and it's dirty. And she says, listen, if this is what they want, then this is what I have to give them. I can make it work, right? Now, of course, the manager is worried about it, you know, and, but she said, I can be normal, you know, I can do normal things. I can make this work. Like, I'm good. I got my tools for rehab and I can make it work. Now, while this is going on, we see, you know, Bree is trying to get back to normal life. Jill has moved in with her to try to help with the transition after, you know, with the husband dying. And of course, we know Jill had to leave her husband and she moved to LA. So it worked out. We see Brandy and them hanging out with the baby daddy and with her daughter. They playing cards and getting to know each other. We see Jill is stepping into her new role as, you know, LGBTQ ambassador. You know, her cover and article came out in Out magazine, and she is becoming, you know, somewhat of a you know, a new icon for the community, right? And she is living it up. She's lapping it up, okay? Fake J-Lo, she trying to figure it all out because, you know, remember, she was the breakout star of the group, and now other people are starting to get some shine. She ain't handling that too well. Now, Bree meets up with her husband's concubine, side chick, other woman, and she want to know whether she gonna have a baby. And she says, listen, I honestly have not made up my mind yet. Like, on one hand, you know, I'm a college student. I'm a graduate student. I'm up to my neck in debt. You know, student loans this and student loans that. And then, you know, the father of the child, he's gone. That's never going to be a possibility. But I did love him. And Bree was like, okay, listen, you can honestly never say that again and I'll be all right. Like, you don't need to remind me that you love him. So she was like, well, can I think about it and let you know? She's like, yeah, sure. You know, okay, let me know. So the ladies found out that they had been invited to perform at the American Music Awards. So they were nervous about it because they were like, listen, the last time we were on stage, it did not go so well. But the manager is like, listen, y'all have an opportunity. I got a new single out. You've rebranded yourself. This is a great opportunity. Maybe we can parlay this into a tour, parlay this into something else. But I think it's an opportunity. So they decided they're going to do it. So now they're like, listen, we need to lock ourselves in this studio and rehearse all day, all night. We need to act like it's the only thing we got going on in our lives, even though it's not, because we can't go on stage and half step. Like, we gotta do like we did down to the BET Awards. We gotta give it to them with this new single and give them give them the new me situation. Now, fake J-Lo decides that maybe she needs to, you know, tighten up a little bit on her, you know, plastic surgery. And the ladies convince her and tell her, listen, you do not need plastic surgery. You are fine. Please don't touch the face. And she agrees not to touch the face, but then she gets butt injections. She said, well, listen, I told y'all I wasn't going to touch my face. I didn't say nothing about I wasn't going to get no butt injection. I didn't say that. I didn't say that part. So she is wobbling around the house, honey, and she sees that she has a stalker. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and knock this storyline out the way because I knew exactly what this was as soon as I saw it, okay? Somebody's standing on her porch and she runs outside with a knife. You are hobbling. You literally cannot even walk, but you're going to confront the stalker. Let's assume this person was really there to cause you some harm. What were you going to do? But, of course, she is excited about the fact that she has a stalker because she's like, I can parlay this into some good publicity. Like, okay, the stalker, it might be a little bit, you know, dangerous, but I can parlay this into something. I can make this be something. So the whole episode, she's talking about her stalker, and nobody is really caring. Nobody is really picking up on the fact that she has a stalker. But at the end of the episode, the stalker ends up being her mama. Okay, I'll go ahead and knock that out because it was no suspense for me. You know why? Because I knew who it was the whole time. It was her mama, her long-lost mama. Now, why her mama showing up now, and her mama didn't show up when she was at the height of her career 10 years ago, we don't know. We're going to find out, I'm sure. So then we got little Debbie Snacks down to the grocery store trying to figure it out. She don't even know how to order lunch meat down to the lunch counter. She talking about something, I'll take 4 hams. The guy was like, 4 hams? That's a lot of ham. It's just you? She said, okay, well, maybe 4 pounds. He said, that's still a lot for one person. How about a half a pound? And she said, okay. He said, would you like honey glazed or traditional? And he said, I tell you what, I will give you a sample of both, and you tell me which one you like. She said, oh, you don't have to do anything special for me. I'm just a regular person. He said, I literally do this for everybody. It was funny. So then as she's checking out, she see these girls in line, and her magazine is there, and they don't recognize her. But she's trying to make them recognize her, because even though on one hand she likes the fact that she's living this normal life, she really doesn't want to live a normal life. And then when they did finally acknowledge the magazine cover, they started talking about how she's washed up, she's, has been, where she been. So of course this threw her into a whole tizzy, and she was upset, and she ran out the grocery store child. So then we see was it Irk taking his daughter out to lunch, for the first time, because he had told, Brandy, listen, it's been great for the three of us hanging out, but I really would like to take her out with just the two of us, maybe get to know her myself, right? So they're out having lunch, and he's got this gold chain on, and even his daughter was like, gold chain is a bit much. And he was like, well, that's how we used to rock it back in the day. So these guys roll up to him and want to take a picture, these two little white guys, and they were like, oh my gosh, you were so good, you were so innovative, you went on, will you take a picture with us? We remember your mixtape, yada, yada, yada. So while they're taking the picture, they snatch his chain, and they go running off. So for him, it is like the ultimate disrespect. Like, that is the ultimate disrespect when you snatch a rapper's gold chain. And we know, we've seen it happen in the industry. Like, people be ready to die over somebody snatching their chain. He chases after them, but of course they get away because he old and he can't keep up with them young boys, right? So his daughter is like, let's call the police, like you got robbed. And he said, no, I can't do that. Like, that's my street rap. I can't be calling the police. He was like, we're going, I know who did it. I know who did it. So he goes to confront young Jeezy. Jeezy is like, bruh, first of all, because he was like, I know that you did it. You still mad about I took the Tigers for the video shoot back in 1986. I mean, Jeezy was like, bruh, if you think I'm holding a grudge for some Tigers that you took for a video shoot 10 years ago, I really need you to get it together. Like, I really need you to get it together. And then he tells him, and I'm going to give you a chance to walk up out of here before my goons get you. Right? It was a whole fake, thuggish, bravado situation. So he finally has a conversation with her and explains to her that the chain was significant because he bought the chain because he was heartbroken over losing Brandy and realizing that Brandy had a baby with another person. Because again, at no point in time did it occur to you to do the math and figure out that it could possibly be yours. But he did say that somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought maybe it was mine. But, I want to say he said she denied it. But neither here nor there. He just walked away, and that's the chain he bought. That was his little sorrow. And so he had the chain that day because he was going to give it to her. So then she was like, you know what? I found these dudes online. It's just like a TikTok prank situation about snatching the chains. I found them. Let's go get our chain back. And so they have a whole father-daughter bonding moment on going and getting this chain back. And of course, by the end of the episode, she is wearing the chain proudly. Again, knocking that on out the way because that was a lot. Now, we getting back to the studio. And Jill is MIA. Like, she is real Hollywood and she is MIA. She is not showing up for rehearsals and stuff. And her, the woman that she ended up having the affair with, that did the article on her, is now like her assistant, right? And she is, speaking for Jill. And they're like, hold up, like, all of this, the games that you playing, like, we're not doing this. Like, Jill knows what the deal is. She knows what her responsibility is. Like, we're not playing these games. Like, what the hell, right? So Bree's sister wife, I guess, I don't know. She decides that she's not going to have the baby, but she asked Bree to go with her down to the abortion clinic to get rid of the baby. And Bree agrees to do it. Of course, she was like, it's awkward, you know, but she doesn't have any other family. She doesn't have anybody else to turn to. So it is what it is. You know, we're going to make it do what it do kind of thing. So Jill is online because they're going to the AMA Awards. But Jill was asked to perform. Now, she's not going to tell the rest of the ladies that she was asked to perform. And her little assistant is really like, you know, hitting her with the whole rah-rah behind her. Like, yeah, girl, you know, you don't need them. And they need to bow down to you. And yada, 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 yada. So she's ordering all these new clothes. And her card gets declined. So she calls her husband like, hold up, player, what's going on? Like, I thought we were good. Like, why are you... What's going on with my cards being declined? And he was like, well, I talked to an attorney, and the attorney told me that I need to, you know, put a hold on everything because I'm not really ready for this to happen. And she was like, I thought we agreed to this. Like, come on, you live your life, I live my life. Like, what's going on? And I'm thinking to myself, then you shouldn't need money. But okay. But he basically tells her, listen, I'm not ready for the divorce to happen. Like, I'm not ready to let you go. And he finally ends up agreeing to, you know, unfreeze the credit cards, and he agrees to do the divorce. But then later on in the episode, baby, he shows up at the front door with them divorce papers, and he sets them on fire at Bree's house. And Bree was like, hold up, what? Don't be coming here with no damn fire. Like, what is wrong with you, right? So... like I said 2 episodes ago, I believe he's the one that shot them. Okay, but moving on. So, Lil Debbie Snack is at the studio with her crew. And of course, you know, she's telling them, you know, what happened at the grocery store. And they're like, well, you know, you have been gone for a while, and you're going to need to do something to, you know, bring everybody back around and get everybody back, you know. And they tell her, well, you know, Doja Cat, you know, she got this new jewelry piece of her butt. And so she was like, well, call the jeweler. Baby, she gets a unicorn horn attached to her forehead. Very, very reminiscent, very reminiscent of Lil Uzi Vert that got that diamond right here in his forehead. Child, she got the unicorn attached to her forehead, okay? And she makes the debut down to the AMA Awards. So... at the AMA Awards, everybody, I mean, the pre-show, you know, the pre-show situation, they're all, you know, they work in the room and all that good stuff. And next thing you know, who comes out on stage to perform Nasty Girls with 2 drag queens? Or at least I'm thinking that they drag queens. If I'm not, I'm sorry if they not, but they definitely part of the community. Jill. Now, first of all, ain't nobody even, like, they never even told the rest of the crew that they were performing the song. And it is disrespectful as hell for Jill to be up on that stage disrespecting the song with her group members while they're in the audience and don't nobody know nothing about it. Like, it'd be different if they knew when they gave their permission, but they didn't know nothing about it. Now, Jill has not been there for Lil Debbie. She was supposed to pick her up from rehab and she flaked. And now they're down at the AMA Awards, and she called herself trying to give her, you know, a whole pep talk about, you know, you don't need to do this. Why did you put that on your head or whatever? And she's giving her the look like, girl, please. You so caught up in yourself right now. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing, and I'm not hearing nothing you saying, okay? Now, Brittany is at the show, at the pregame, and this young rapper is flirting with her. Now, of course, bro J-Lo thought he was flirting with her, but when he walked up to approach them, and he was talking, he was trying to get Bree's attention, bro J-Lo was mad. She was in her feelings about a child. But basically, he tells her, listen, I want to take you out. Bree was like, bruh, I'm old enough to be your mama, and I got 4 kids. Like, he was like, I don't care. He was like, let's go, let's fly down to Paris. We can get on a private plane to get to Paris. She was like, I got 4 kids. He said, we can take them too. She said, boy, stop playing with me. He was like, nah, like, for real, like, I'm interested. What's up? Like, I'm interested. And so the ladies convinced her to live in the moment. They convinced her to make it happen. So, baby, she rose up late on that night. She rose up on his hotel room, and she puts it on him. And he was like, yeah, now that's nasty. And she rolled up on him. She got her little piece, and she rolled out. I said, I know that's right, EVE. You better give it to him, EVE. Get it to him! Anyway. So, Of course, once the performance happens, the group is totally pissed off at Miss Jill. So the next day when they're at their rehearsal, and they're basically trying to tell her, like, what you did is utterly disrespectful. Like, how could you go on stage? How could you perform like that and not talk to none of us and not give us the heads up? And we're sitting, literally standing in the audience. Like, that is the utmost, that is the epitome of disrespect for you to do that. Like, why would you do that to us? And she went on to explain how, listen, when the group was at its height, you know, y'all had me on stage and clothes I didn't feel comfortable in, and everybody had something going on but me. Now it's my turn to shine, and I'm gonna take it. Like, it is what it is. So her and Bree got into it really bad because Bree was like, "Well, allegedly you moved in with me to be there for me and help me with my kids, but clearly that is not what it's about because you barely home and you're not around." And she was like, "Oh, so are you jealous? Are you jealous?" Girl, I hate when people do that. I hate when somebody is trying to tell you about themselves and the first thing is, "Oh, you just jealous of me." No, ma'am. Nobody is jealous. I'm trying to give you some good shit right now. I'm trying to give you some good words of wisdom. Nobody is jealous of you, okay? Anyway, you know, that turns into a big fight and Jill is like, "I don't need this," because of course now she done got so caught up in her own head that she don't need nobody. "I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this." So broke J-Lo is meeting up with Lil Debbie Snacks down to the studio, and they having a little moment, and she's letting her know, "Girl, listen, you'll need to do all these extravagant things. You got to really have confidence in yourself. You got to really feel how you feel. Like, be confident in who you are. You know, give her the good pep talk." So the next day we see her with her crew again, and they're like, "Yes, you are trending again. You are back on top again. You are back. You know, that unicorn is what it was." And then they had the nerve to offer her some drugs. And he was like, "Well, I mean, I figure you already went to rehab for cocaine. I mean, what's a little bit of weed?" And I'm like, girl. So she does walk away. She doesn't take the drugs. She does walk away. But baby, she got ready to get dressed and she wanted to go take that shirt off. And that shirt, she forgot about that damn horn on her head. And that shirt got stuck on the horn on her head and ripped it out her forehead, baby. And of course, she is screaming and hollering and screaming and hollering, okay? Eve goes down to the clinic to meet up with old girl, and old girl don't show up. So Eve goes by her house. She has disappeared. Okay, packed up and left. I said, that's pretty much how I figured that was going to go anyway. And that was pretty much the episode, child. Listen, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.